Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Larry Bodenheimer and today we're taking a look at CrealLauncher. CrealLauncher is a 32-bit Trojan written for modern Windows operating systems, Windows 7 and up, and it is written in Python. Now I mention this because it's been a long time since we've reviewed malware that's written in Python on the channel. It's not the first time, but the vast majority of the time we see assembly followed by C, and then a few times we've seen Rust malware. But Python is definitely a rarity for the channel. Before we run the malware, we're going to take a look at it in the Threat Insights portal, courtesy of Nike Analytics. He's also the uploader of the malware. So we've got launcher.exe. I'm not sure if it's supposed to say launcher or if launcher really is some kind of program that does exist and this pretends to be it. Not sure. Last analyzed 14 minutes ago. Size is 14.36 megabytes, so it's quite chunky. Uploaded by Nike, and a reputation of 0, as nobody has voted on it yet. We see it has a threat score confidence of 100. If we come down here, everything gives it malicious, except for Unpack Me, which did not rate it. Reversing Labs gives it malicious, script Python malware heuristic. Virus Total gives it 24 out of 81 detections, or 29.6%, and it says Trojan.Python/reverse shell. Hatching Triage gives it a 10 out of 10 with CrealStealer, Credential Access, Discovery, and PyInstaller. Any Run gives it 100% confidence, threat level 2, malicious activity. Threat Zone gives it the highest score it can with malicious. Kaspersky OpenTip does confirm that it's malware, but with no name, and Unpack Me does not rate it. If we go to details and file identifiers, here's your MD5, your SHA-1, and your SHA-256 for the video. If you're new to the channel, these are also in the comments, so if you want to follow along, you don't have to type them letter and number for letter and number. So we'll go ahead and minimize this, and we'll show the tools that we'll be using to analyze the malware. We have System Informer, which I thought I already had these prepared, but it seems I may not have. I did also restart the virtual machine before I started recording, so it's possible they just went out of whack. We also have Process Monitor, Wireshark, which I want to take half the screen, and Zooey, which I would drag down here. Last but not least, let's take a look at the malware itself. So if we go to Properties, we go to Details. There are no details, unfortunately, so we can't really take a look at how realistic it looks. And as I've said, this could be Launcher, could be a real thing. The fact that it says Launcher and not Launcher already throws me off, so you lose points there. Alright, now all that's left to do is restart the Process Monitor capture, restart the Wireshark capture, get this open, and finally, run some malware. Do you want to allow this app from an unknown publisher to make changes to your device? Why not? So we click yes, and it immediately opens down here. It also executes itself twice, and if we keep an eye on it, it should open command prompt, but it is a really quick task, so unfortunately we didn't see it happen. All that it did was open command prompt a couple of times and then immediately closed, just long enough to run its its Python script, and then eventually the program does close. So unfortunately not a lot of neat stuff to see with System Informer itself. So now we're going to go to Process Monitor, and we're going to do two filters. The first filter we're going to do is operation is create file, and process name is, I think it was Launcher, launcher.exe. Now, unfortunately, I did forget to actually erase the Process Monitor captures. I'm fairly certain I did click it. I don't know why it's still going. So that is unfortunate, but it is what it is. We can go ahead and pause once the filter's done applying, because malware's already done everything that it's going to. 10 seconds. And as we can see, Wireshark's not picking up any new traffic, so I'll go ahead and save this as 1.pcap as well. As you can see, there's a bunch of consistent red and black lines here. So we'll go ahead and minimize that. We're not going to start a new packet capture. It would be pointless. So let's go ahead and pause the process monitor, and we're going to come over to Zooey, import the data from 1.pcap, and while that's running, we can look at it in process monitor. So immediately, if we come down a little bit past all the temp files that it added, oh, that's the very bottom. Oops. What I was trying to say is immediately we start seeing things with crypto and cipher. So if we scroll down, we're going to see a bunch of this. So we've got temp, MEI73042, and in that temp folder, which does seem to have been deleted once the capture was done, we've got a crypto folder and then a crypto cipher folder, and then a cipher for arc4.pyd, which is a Python file. And then we've got salsa20, cha-cha20, pkcs1 decode, raw AES, raw arc2. So if you're not entirely sure what it's doing, it's trying to grab all of the keys that are on your computer, and it's also trying to grab all of your crypto information. So it really be going after people that both mine crypto on their devices and have cryptocurrency on their devices. So if we keep going, we've got EKS Blowfish, Blake 2B, Blake 2S, MD2, MD4, MD5, Ripe MD 160. I'm not going to read all of these, but we do want to pay attention to the most important ones. So here's your SHA-1, your SHA-256, and your SHA-512. The rest of these aren't really actively used. We've got Poly 1305, Mode XP, STR Zor. I'm not even sure what that is. Win32 UI. So it's just going to call a bunch of these. And now that we're in the temp directory, we're also calling some other things as well. A bunch of DLLs that no doubt are for the malware to run. Obviously, Python 310.dll is custom. We've also got pyexbat.pyd. Now, if we try to jump to here, just to show, unfortunately, the entire folder that all of this stuff was in has been deleted as soon as the malware was done. So it's quite unfortunate, but not really much that we can do about it. We've got certify on the device, okay. And we've got setup tools dist info with an installer, license, metadata, record requested will, entry points.txt. Man, I really wish I could actually look at these, but unfortunately they do be gone. And it looks like it's calling its own process again. If we keep going, we've got a .mun file for it. It did access the Windows shell manifest, so that's a little interesting. Base library.zip, we can go past that. And eventually, if we go down towards the bottom, the number of events was making me think that this was actually Luma until, I looked at like the first few process captures and immediately realized this wasn't Luma, as Luma doesn't really go after cryptocurrency, just everything else. We keep going through here, and eventually we're going to see, we've got some setup tools and other things for Python, okay. But if we keep going, more towards the end, we are going to see, we've got some more crypto hashes again. It looks like it may be running another check, but only for the most used ciphers. So as you can see, there's Blake 2S, and then instead of SHA-1, SHA-244, or 224, and all those, it's just SHA-1 and SHA-256, and then MD5. So if we keep going, here's what makes me think that it was Luma. But if I look at this for more than 5 seconds, I can pretty easily figure out that this may have been copied from Luma's code, because Luma's everywhere these days, and everybody has a copy of it. I have like 20 in my car. But that's just something that we want to point out. It does seem to copy some of the payload of Luma, where it's gathering browser information, Discord information, and if we keep going, there's a few strings for FTP and SSH as well, although there's not many. We've got SSL right here. It's doing openssl.cnf. And something you may have noticed that I didn't yap about is we have this nasty string right here. So it looks like it is accessing the start menu program startup, and it is putting its own program in the startup directory. Now that's kind of an L and really easy to figure out, because if you're going to directly access the startup directory like this, you at least want to put, it could even be like a randomly named file that's just a copy of the malware, but putting the original malware in the startup directory is like blatantly obvious. Everybody's going to see that. But either way, if we keep going, and I keep yapping, we see there's a few more details for temp stuff, and then that's it. We end with kernel app core.dll. No other executables to take a look at. This was all done with one program, which again is another L, because everything is laid out right in front of us. And also the fact that it was done in Python makes it very easy to detect as well, which is why it had so many detections on the Threat Insights portal. But now that we've looked at that, we can go ahead and crack it open in Zooey and see if there's any process captures, or sorry, any snort, IDS, IPS filters to take a look at. My first instinct is that there's probably not going to be much, but, crazier things have happened. So let's start off by looking at these alert 3s. So etinfo observed Discord domain in TLS SNI, and this is the Discord sniffing part of the payload. So if you're logged into Discord, it's going to grab your Discord token, and your account no longer belongs to you. They really need to come up with a better security measure than these Discord tokens, because this happens all the time. And it looks like this payload... Oh, no, there's other stuff here. Okay. So we'll keep looking through here. This is Discord. This is Discord. This is Discord. This is Discord. Okay, I saw something with IP info, but we keep going. No, that's still Discord. Okay, where did I see it? Discord domain. Here we go. etinfo external IP lookup domain geolocationdb.com. So it looks like this may actually have an IP lookup tool. May possibly run it through a checker that would narrow down your geolocation in I'm gonna say X and Z coordinates like this is Minecraft. Those cool little neat things, the bunch of numbers that narrow down your location. I'm not too worried because the shotgun in my closet may have something to say about that if Russian mobsters come to my home looking for my kidneys. But it does look like it is running it through geolocation.db. We've also got etinfo external IP address lookup domain ipfi.com. So that's another thing. And we've got a bunch of these alert 3s, but not really any telltale signs that you've been infected with malware. Because you can run an IP tool on your own computer just to check, and people run Discord all the time, which is why this is an alert 3 instead of an alert 1, even though we know that all of our stuff is being exfiltrated. So all of this is going to be IPFI and Discord over and over. Oh, wait a minute. We have some alert 2s. So if I crack this open, etinfo online file storage domain in DNS lookup gofile.io, potentially bad traffic. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. But unfortunately, that's going to be it. So we've taken a look at it in Wireshark, Process Monitor, System Informer, and Zooey. The last thing to do is look through VirusTotal and see if, there's any IP addresses or websites we want to take a look at. It's possible. And if we go to associations, I hiccuped. If we go to associations, we can see that Jaffa Cakes has ranked it also as CrealStealer or CrealStealer, and it's just their basic thing. It's automated. But we can see that I'm not the only one making this association. Oh, and I lied. It's 64-bit. It's not 32-bit. I'm a big liar. And as we can see, the only directed contacted domain is Microsoft, and the only two contacted IP addresses are a local IP and a Microsoft IP. But with all that being said, the last thing to do, because I forgot, is to restart the computer and see if it does have persistence. Now, we've seen that it accesses startup, so I wouldn't say it's anybody's guess. I'd say that's a pretty big giveaway that it does. But, crazier things have happened. So let's restart the computer and see for ourselves. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I've been putting a lot of effort into them lately. Work has been kicking my butt. I've been working between 40 and 60 hours a week now. And there's no end in sight with that, which is why I've been doing more live streams lately too, because on those I can just yap and not focus. But either way, I hope you guys are enjoying. Alright, video tools, and if we go to System Informer, I'm just going to put it in full screen because we're not going to look at anything else. We don't see it running yet. It is possible, however, that it's running in services. And nope, it is running directly under Explorer. And it's probably running the exact same payload. If it's open for the exact same amount of time, and it is, it's running the exact same check. So removal shouldn't be too hard. Just install an emergency kit or any AV product if Windows failed you or whatever AV product you're running failed you, and it'll remove this. It's very, very easy to tell that malware is on the system. Very easy to remove. You're going to want to change your passwords and everything like that, obviously. And if it got any crypto information from you, unfortunately, big L, but that's really all you can do at this point. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comments section down below letting me know what you want to see next, and if there's anything I didn't do in this video that you want to see in future ones. My name is Larry Bodenheimer. You guys have been amazing, and I will see you in the next one.